India and Israel-Iran conflict. This is an article from the explained section of the Indian Express. For the second time since April, Iran and Israel are on the brink of all-out war. On Tuesday, Iran fired almost 200 missiles at Israel, which has vowed to respond. India has high stakes in West Asian region, and the Ministry of External Affairs has said it is important that the conflict doesn't take a wider regional dimension, and we urge that all issues be addressed through dialogue and diplomacy. New Delhi has so far not offered to play mediatory role. However, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had spoken to both Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas and Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu over last 10 days. Modi met Abbas on sidelines of UN General Assembly on September 23rd, expressed deep concern at humanitarian situation in Gaza and reaffirmed India's support for early restoration of peace and stability in the region. In October last year, Modi had spoken to Abbas to convey condolences at civilians' death at Gaza's Al-Ahli hospital and reiterated India's long-standing principled position on Israel-Palestine issue. On September 30th, the Prime Minister spoke to his Israeli counterpart to underline that terrorism has no place in our world. The priorities were to prevent regional escalation, the safe release of all hostages, and early restoration of peace and stability, Modi told Netanyahu. 6 months ago, Iran had launched a swarm of drones, ballistic missiles, and cruise missiles at Israel in response to a suspected Israeli strike on an Iranian consular building in Damascus, in which a senior Iranian general was killed. The wave of aerial attack on Israel this week was in line with the Iranian response seen both in April and in January 2020, when it responded to the assassination of Quds Force Chief Qasem Soleimani by firing ballistic missile at US military base in western Iraq. Neither of Iran's two attacks on Israel caused much damage, probably by design. Israel responded to April attack with a limited strike near Ifsan a week later, but a stronger response this time could tip the region into a full-blown war. This is a major worry for India, which has strategic ties with both Israel and Iran. The strategic relationship with Israel, especially the defense and security partnership, has grown and deepened under Narendra Modi government. The two sides have strong shared concerns over extremism and terrorism. Israel has emerged as a major defense supplier alongside US, France, and Russia, and New Delhi remembers that Israelis have stepped up at its time of crisis during Kargil war in 1999. Iran, on the other hand, has been a major supplier of crude to India. Also, the two countries share concern over terrorism emanating from Pakistan and Afghanistan, and on the Taliban's treatment of minorities and lack of inclusive and representative government in Kabul. The Chabar port is a project of great strategic and economic importance to India. An escalation of tension could impact India with regard to its people living in the region, its economic interests, and its strategic needs. There are about 18,000 Indians in Israel, about 5 to 10,000 in Iran, and some 90 lakh in the region as a whole. A wider conflict will put this huge Indian community at risk. The West Asian region provides India with 80% of its oil supplies. A wider war will almost inevitably raise energy prices. Also, major Arab countries have been keen to invest in Indian economy. Those plans will likely to be disrupted in the event of a wider conflict. India has invested its relationship with major Arab countries, Iran and Israel. New Delhi sees the region as its extended neighborhood and has been working with all sides to push for India Middle East Europe economic corridor, which promises both strategic and economic benefits. It is keen to see that consensus around peace is not unraveled by war. Furthermore, the International North-South Transport Corridor, a 7,200 km multi-mode network of ship, rail and road routes is strategic importance to India. The corridor links India with Iran, Azerbaijan, Russia, Central Asia, and Europe, facilitating the movement of goods between these regions. In conclusion, let us not forget that in today's interconnected world, peace in one region is essential for peace everywhere. As a nation committed to principle of peaceful coexistence, we must continue to advocate for restraint, dialogue, and diplomacy, and if needed, play a more active role in bringing about peaceful resolution to this dangerous crisis.